I sat up in the darkness of my room, frightened. Some noise from the land of the walking had jolted me out of unconsciousness. Groggy, I reached across the nightstand, turning my alarm clock to my face. The dim numbers read 3 a.m., and I groaned. So much for a good night's sleep. Forgetting what had woken me, I rolled back over and settled back into my bed. But there was again a thump from the attic above me, loud and deliberate. There was another. It sounded as though someone, for surely it was a person, no house settles in the matter, so resembling footsteps, was attempting to make me aware of its presence, almost toying with me. I bolted upright, adrenaline pumping. Someone was in my house. The thumping stopped somewhere above my closet. I stood up in the darkness of my room. The illumination of the alarm clock extended no further than the nightstand upon which it sat. Slowly, I worked my way out of my room and down the hall, heading towards the storage closet, and grabbed my old bat. I retreated down the hall to stare, waiting, at the trap door into the attic. Whoever the intruder was, he wasn't going anywhere. I held my breath, waiting for any noise, any sign of life. Nothing. Heart racing, I slowly approached and pulled down the ladder. The light was on in the attic. I wasn't sure if I had left it that way. I climbed up as quietly as I could and peeked into the room, only to be confronted with nothing. Nothing was there at all. Just old crap I had left up there in storage. I sighed, relieved. I must have been imagining things. It's easy to convince yourself that you're hearing things when you're alone in the dark. Laughing, I shoved the lights behind me and went to lie down. I closed my eyes, thinking how ridiculous I had been. Then, thump! Closer now. Just as loud as I heard it before. Closer, now to the center of the room. I jumped out of bed, less frightened than angry. I rushed up the ladder, bat in hand. I kicked over boxes, swung at the shadows. Oh, close. Nothing. There was no one there. I rubbed my temples, climbing down the ladder, and back towards my room. Too much stress at work. Must be imagining things. Maybe I'd take the day off tomorrow. I felt strange as I approached my door. A sense of dread washed through me, and I hesitated, hand outstretched towards the doorknob. I groaned. I was being stupid. I'd probably feel better after I got some sleep. Fingers rubbing the bridge of my nose, I blindly flicked on the light switch and made my way towards my bed. I slumped onto the edge, rubbing my eyes. So tired. I had to stop being so paranoid. Thump! I jerked my hands away from my face and whipped around to glare once more towards the attic. Both the light on, I could see it. A grotesque mockery of the human form, bent and twisted, head facing the wrong way, empty eye sockets where eyes should have been. Slowly, deliberately, it lifted a hand. It grinned and slapped it back down with a thump, dragging itself closer towards me. Thump! I gave a panic laugh as it smashed the bare bulb that was my only source of light, shrouding the room in darkness. I'm not insane. How could I have known? Thump! It walks on ceilings.